Hey there, what's up? In today's video, we're looking at how an alien civilization may have seemed. Welcome to another So What video. Let's get started. The observable universe is a vast area that has existed for up to 2 trillion years and more than 13 billion years. There are approximately 20,000 billion stars in each galaxy. Scientists believe that only the Milky Way contains our home galaxy. In the habitable zone of their stars, there are roughly 40 billion planets like Earth. It's difficult to believe there is no competition when we consider these numbers. It would alter how we see ourselves for the rest of time. Our perspective would change, and we might be able to put our pointless arguments behind us if we discovered others in this wide expanse. We need to address a problem first, though, before we search for our new greatest friends or worst enemies. What exactly are we seeking for in the universe? Therefore, in order to create better thoughts that improve our ability to search better, we need a conceptual framework. Exist any principles that all currently existing intelligent species adhere to? The sample size of our civilization is 1. As a result, we risk making false assumptions. Even if we only judge ourselves, we are still superior to nothing. We are aware that the only tools humanity had in the beginning were their hands and minds. Humans are known to be inquisitive, competitive, resource-hungry, and expansionist. The better it was for our ancestors to have more of these attributes. Being at one with nature is lovely, but it's not the way to irrigation systems, gunpowder, or cities, as they learned as they progressed in the civilization-building game. Therefore, it is logical to infer that aliens who are able to conquer their home planet also possess similar traits. And since aliens must abide by the same physical laws as humans, there is a metric for measuring progress. Using energy, how much energy we were able to collect from our surroundings and how we converted it into useful energy are two extremely accurate measures of human progress. Up until we learned to manage fire, we first used our muscles. As our machines improved and we gained more information about materials, we created devices that utilized the kinetic energy of the wind and water. Our energy consumption increased enormously when we started to collect concentrated energy from the dead plants we dug up from the earth, and so did our civilization's capacities. The population had grown 7-fold between 1800 and 2015, but the world's population was consuming 25 times more energy. This process is most likely to last for a very long time. These findings led physicist Nikolai Kardashev to devise a system for classifying civilizations, from cave people to galactic gods. The Kardashev scale is a tool for comparing the energy consumption of civilizations. Although the scale has been improved and expanded throughout the years, it generally divides civilizations into 4 groups. A Type 1 civilization may utilize the energy that is present on their home planet. A Type 2 civilization can utilize the energy that is present in its star and planetary system. A Type 3 civilization can utilize the energy that is present in their galaxy. A Type 4 civilization has the capacity to harness the energy of numerous galaxies. There are orders of magnitude between these levels. It's like contrasting a human metropolis with an ant colony. We are very complex and strong compared to ants. We could as well be deities. Therefore, we require subcategories at the lower end of the spectrum to make the scale more usable. There are civilizations of types 0 to 1, ranging from hunter-gatherers to anything. What might be accomplished in the upcoming few hundred years? These might be plentiful in the Milky Way, but they might be as nearby as our nearest star neighbor if they aren't actively sending out radio signals into space. They would be completely unknown to us and the Alpha Centauri system. And even if they did send out radio signals like we do, it might not be very useful on a galactic scale. Humanity is essentially undetectable, yet our signals could go as far as 200 light years. But even if someone were listening, after a few light years, our transmissions degrade into noise, making it hard to identify as the source of an intelligent species. This is only a tiny portion of the Milky Way. The current level of mankind is roughly 0.75. Our planet has changed due to us. We have built massive complexes, stripped mountains of their natural vegetation, eliminated rainforests, and drained marshes. In addition to changing the atmosphere's composition and temperature, we have also produced rivers and lakes. If development keeps up and we don't render the planet inhabitable, within the next few hundred years, we will fully develop into a Type 1 civilization. Any society that develops into a Type 1 will inevitably gaze outside, because it probably still exhibits traits like curiosity, rivalry, greed, and expansionism. The attempt to modify and mine other planets and bodies is a logical next step toward the transition to Type 2. Outposts in space might be the beginning, followed by infrastructure and businesses close to the planet's surface, colonies, and finally terraforming neighboring planets. A civilization's energy consumption scales with its growth and utilization of more resources by altering its atmosphere, rotation, or position. Thus, they might eventually start their biggest undertaking yet. Civilization of Type 2 is capable of harnessing. After constructing a Dyson swarm using their star's energy, they will have virtually unlimited energy to shape their home system. However, if they continue to be inquisitive, aggressive, acquisitive, and expansionist, then they now possess total command over their home system, stellar infrastructure, and the star's energy output. The next frontier is other, light-years-away stars. A Type 2 civilization might see space as being similar to how we experience the distance between Earth and Pluto. This starts their move into Type 3 today, which is theoretically possible, but only with significant investments in terms of time, creativity, and resources. We are so far removed from this stage that it is difficult to envision the specifics of these difficulties and how they will be overcome. Will they be able to overcome the enormous distances and countless years' worth of travel? Will they be able to communicate and maintain a common culture and biology between colonies that are located thousands of light years apart? Or will they break apart? The closer a species gets to Type 3 civilizations, or even separate species, the more difficult it is to imagine what they could truly look like. Type 2 civilizations, perhaps even different species, face lethal obstacles between the stars. They might understand and be able to manage dark matter and energy, discover new physics, or perhaps be able to travel at the speed of light. We might not be able to understand their intentions, actions, and technology. Humans are the ants attempting to comprehend the galactic city. Humanity may already be viewed by a high Type 2 civilization as being too primitive to even communicate with. Perhaps a Type 3 civilization would perceive us in the same way that we perceive the anthill microorganisms. They wouldn't even see our existence and consciousness as important. All we could do was hope that they are kind gods. But this isn't necessarily the end of the scale. Some scientists hypothesize that Type 4 and Type 5 civilizations may exist, and that their influence may extend to galaxy clusters or supercluster structures that contain trillions of stars and thousands of galaxies. In the end, a Type Omega society might be able to control the entire universe, and it's also possible that other Type Omega civilizations might have actually created our universe for reasons we can't understand. Despite how inaccurate this description may sound, perhaps they were just bored. This thought experiment has already revealed some intriguing information. We can be fairly confident that there are no civilizations of Type 3 beyond the Milky Way, and if there were any, their influence would almost certainly be so great and their technology so superior to our own that we couldn't miss them. This is assuming that our theories about the nature of species that form interstellar civilizations are somewhat accurate. With their activity in thousands of star systems, the galaxy should flash. We ought to be able to observe or track their objects, as well as their travels across their dominion. Even if a Type 3 civilization did ever exist and perish mysteriously, we should be able to locate some evidence of its empire. However, When researchers searched, they couldn't find any signs of harvested stars decomposing into massive structures or the scars of massive intergalactic walls. They are therefore exceedingly unlikely to exist now and never have. This is both terribly upsetting and reassuring in a way. The most promising civilizations to look for may be anywhere along the spectrum from type 1.5 to type 2.5, since it leaves the galaxy to us and other species that are similar to us. They wouldn't need to be highly developed to comprehend them and their motivations. They may have completed their first megastructures and be in the midst of accidentally or on purpose transporting personnel between stars and sending massive amounts of data into space. They would probably also scan the skies for other people. However, it's possible that we're totally off base. Perhaps Type 2 development does not imply global expansion and humanity is yet too young to imagine. Otherwise, all we really know is that we haven't seen anyone yet, but we haven't even started looking yet. When we do, we'll be able to ask friendly super aliens for an explanation. Although the laws of the universe apply to us, most people must content themselves with learning new things on their own, whether they are returning to school, leaving home for the first time, or simply starting a new stage in their lives. Thank you for watching. See you in the next